Hello, hello, hello. All right. Actually, if this is live now, we'll start with this and then go on. Oof. Alexandra Marie, up big against Mara Navaria. I'm a big fan of her, even though she's Italian. Is this me or is this them? I think this is them. Nope, it was me. Probably me. We'll see.
Just deadly on these counterattacks.
A big hole for Mara Navaria. Not too much time at this level. Getting a double there, but long way to go. Okay, so it is them. I'm all back and the stream is frozen.
Oh, no, that was good.
We'll give this 30 seconds while people log on.
But it was Navaria's parry, but
See if anybody actually tunes in to watch.
do anything with it. A double will do it.
And I guess that's it, which we can see while we're frozen.
(15-8). Congratulations to Alexandra Louis Marie, our 2023 individual women's épée
Perfect
European
timing.
champion. And
Just missed the end of it. Well, that's pretty convenient. We'll just go right to yesterday. Do men's men's épée finals and then Nick Zhang's win in Pan Am's. Day 3 podium, day 3 podium. There we go. Day 1, daily commentary, day 1 piece screen, day 1 piece show, day 1 podium. Perfect. That sounds like copyrighted music. I'm surprised this is still up. That's got to be good enough, right?
Katsopoulos of Greece.
All right. Davide Diveroli versus Federica Vismara, both of Italy, in a slaughterhouse of a tournament. These are the, Italy took everything in men's epee and everything in women's foil, and looks like everything in women's epee, possibly men's foil. All right. Classic Italians fencing very, very close distance. Is just looking for any kind of a tiny, tiny mistake. I don't know what that pullback is. I see a lot of them doing it, where Vismara will, feint in and then think something from Di Veroli, jump back, pull his arm back, looking for Di Veroli to be going shallow and then finishing deep so he can get a counterattack in time. It looks like you ought to be able to attack into that, do one to the hand, two to the body, but maybe that's exactly what he's looking for.
The yellow cards. I'm sure you know if it happens again.
Classic. First period non-combativity. Just take a minute to feel out your opponent. Really, almost 2 minutes. Usually, you get pretty deep into the second minute before you get a touch, just in the bout at all, and then they start going from there. Probably an unintended effect of the non-combativity rules, the passivity rules, but I'm not in charge of the FIE. If I was, there would be a lot of different things. I think I do it a minute 30 for the first one, and then a minute, and then 30 seconds. Where the 30 seconds, if you get a yellow and a red, and then you get a black, and then you deserve it. Flush from Ismara. Davide gets the duck encounter, and 1-0. And exactly as I said, there's 10 seconds left in the second passivity period. Then we finally get our first touch.
And if they are level, the fencer with the highest initial seed.
One thing to notice here that is certainly interesting. I don't know what to make of it. Very little movement. Both of these fencers are pretty static. Oh, I remember this. Saw this last time. De Veroli is injured. Saw this yesterday. Well, that explains why Di Veroli is so static. He is hurt, and so he can barely move. Just purely relying on his phenomenal blade work to keep him in the bout. But Vismar should really be taking full advantage of it here to be able to just keep breaking the distance and pushing in and breaking the distance and pushing in. He's got a big advantage over Di Veroli in his mobility, and is not really taking advantage of it. Long range attacks are going to be very safe for him because Di Veroli just doesn't have the legs to counter on it. But instead, he's getting in close and walking, keeping fencing in Di Veroli's range, and Di Veroli can do stuff like that. Very boring first period, but it's going to be like that as long as Di Veroli is injured.
Second period ready to start.
Oh, that was a good one from Divaroli. Um, really well timed onto Vismar is still getting lazy jumping in. And Divaroli finds the time to do a sort of a weird happy kind of a flunge, pizza style, if you will. He's looking more mobile now, so maybe it's playing through the pain. There's one from Vismar that he gets because Divaroli can't go forward. Vismar gets a safe counter. But you can really just lean on that the whole bout. And it doesn't matter if it ends up 5-2. You just got to work it out. And then a win's a win. Yeah, stuff like that. That was a hard read. He really knew that was coming and started extending before Bismar even started the flesh. Really, really smart touch from that you only really get when you know your opponent really well. Which, as two members of the Italian team, they do. There's one from Vismara, and here's Steve Veroli taking the injury timeout. 45, 12, 45, 13, 14, 15. Oh, too far. Here we go. It's supposed to be the injury timer.
One day of the individual podium piece and ready to resume the match. 1:56 remaining in the second period.
Zivil is absolutely locked in place. For some reason, Vismar is just letting him stay there. And little hops forward. And there we go. Forces Divaroli to come into the blade with a parry and trying to catch it, Vismar's blade, and then Vismar finds the timing for the flesh. He's still, good for him to get out there, but that's a very dangerous place to be in because Divaroli has such a short range and he's still hanging out in there. I think if he was a little bit farther back, even though he can't threaten from back there, it would make Divaroli have to work a lot harder when he really can't because he's hurt. I need a color commentator. Double there. As Vismar is looking for Divaroli's counter, he's feinting in with an extension and then pulling back in 6. But Divaroli's not biting, and then Vismar goes anyway. He's got to be a little bit more patient. The worst I've ever been injured at a competition was I got really frustrated at practice one time and kicked a wall and ended up on crutches for 3 days. But that was a Thursday. And then Sunday I had a tournament and it was a team event, so I couldn't let my teammates down because I was in college. So I took 2 different kinds of painkillers, Advil and ibuprofen, spent about 2/3 of the tournament. Thought I was feeling like absolute shit. was in so much pain I like rage quit and ran to a hall to scream. And then my teammate got mad at me for letting the team count because he thought even injured I was better than the sub. Oh, that was good. Sends a really good flush disengage to the leg, as Juvaroli can't get back far enough to avoid it. I've done it. Used to do a couple two-a-days, and then by the end of the second event, if I did well in both, I would start cramping. Which is not great, but it doesn't mean you left it all out on the table. So that's always a good feeling.
And we go to our second 1-minute break
No, that's not gonna work.
and the final period in this gold medal match.
Testing, test. Okay, good. Mic is working. See, Vismar is not at all playing with the distance. It's step forward, something with the blade, step forward, and very rhythmic too. I don't know if he is also injured. It would be strange for there to be two injured Italians in the finals. This is a very stacked tournament for that to be that good, for that to happen. But it is what it is. Maybe he thinks he doesn't need to work hard. I don't know, but there he goes back to there. But see, it's little steps forward. There you go. That's starting to build in the backwards. There we go. Draws out Diveroli's blade just with pure pressure. And then goes low high around the bell into Diveroli's extended arm. Diveroli can't go back because he's injured. And Vismara's extension means Diveroli's take is too low on the blade. There's another really good one. This bout should be over. Vismar just needs to sit for 2 minutes. But it doesn't look like he's doing that. Why is he so close? Somebody please explain why he's still trying to get touches up 2 against an injured fencer when things like that can happen.
Vismara asked for a video review.
We don't need to watch the video review. I think he was looking for a core before the touch, but he's the one going forward. So Diveroli gets to finish. His tip is past Diveroli's bell, and he's neither committing nor going backwards, and that's terrifying to me. He's basically opening himself up for Diveroli to hit him. And Diveroli knows it too. He knows he should have gotten that one. He's got to get everyone. I mean, you always have to get everyone, but when you're injured, you only have a limited number of attacks left in you. You have to get everyone. Diveroli's knew that was a gift from Vismar that he has to open and put in the bank. There's a gift from Vismara right back. There's no reason he should be closing for Diveroli to get a straight hand shot. There's no reason he should be flushing to Diveroli like that. He's trying to close out the bout, which is great. But, you know, you'd rather wait it out and win than hit time. Now he has to make something happen, and Diveroli is shown is very dangerous, even injured, when Vismar is coming forward.
No hit given.
That was the second action.
So it is Vismara shown a card.
Possibly a yellow card for jostling, but that's very borderline, I think.
Running into the opponent.
Again, Vismar is trying to beat him on blade work. Oh, that was good. But risky. I wonder if now, under a minute left, Vismara will let it go to time. There we go. Now it's starting to go backwards. Now he had a 2-point lead. And if he'd have just let Diveroli come at him as fast as he can, which is very slow, he'd have found himself with another touch or two probably. And if not, clock would run out.
Very nice.
Something like that can't happen. Just absolutely cannot happen.
He can't run and jump and fly, but he knows how to use.
This is phenomenal fencing by Diveroli. Bismar is giving him the opportunities, but he's really taking advantage of all of them. Just great wrist picks and oh, that was phenomenal. Bismar knows he let that one go. Great final action by Diveroli. Shows what you can do when you're fencing like a vet.
Diveroli for the gold medal, Bismara for the silver.
So that's the gold medal. Why is the podium just the gold medal bouts? Someone's foil. It's random nonsense. This is unfortunate. So let's go see if we can find the semis here. Dale 1. But the commentary feed will show the semis, and we just mute David King. Hey, Lizzie. In fighting with lefties haunts your dreams. You're not wrong, but honestly, we shouldn't be infighting with lefties at all. We should be, you infight with a lefty, that's fine, but the lefty can't move, you shouldn't be infighting with them. We are looking for the semis. I assume they did commentary on. That would make the most sense.
Overcome a very big deficit.
Isa Tibu, married to Race Imbudin, who just announced his much belated retirement. Congrats to him on a phenomenal career. Okay, so that's it. Palumbo. David Diveroli versus, I believe his name is Marco Brinkman.
Solid victory in the 8 or in the 16 over Max Heinz in the 16. He faced Alvaro Ibanez of Spain.
So this is pre-injury Diveroli.
Especially in the 16 when he faced Tibor Andrasky of Hungary. And
oh wow! Quick early action from Brinkman. Diveroli picks up on it.
near the end of the match, next time I looked around, he had won it.
Brinkman, a very sort of a mishmash of styles. Really look at him. He's got his arm very far out from modern fencer, and I think Diveroli picked up on that like that. He's kind of got his butt sticking out, which is something you see in a low and mid-level fences, but not often at the highest level. But his footwork looks really nice, very modern. That deep rear knee bend and kind of turn forward a little bit more. If you leave your blade that far out, you have less extension area to threaten with, and you have and it makes it easier for your opponent to do something with it from a safer distance. So it's not much seen at the highest level anymore. So Brinkman's first one was good, but even then came in low and from a weird angle, giving VD Diveroli a chance to counterattack. And there's another one where, as Brinkman does a feint flesh where he gets Diveroli to jump on the feint and then runs in, fleshes. That one's out of distance, easy counter for Diveroli. Out a double. That was just a really, really good fast parry by Diveroli. Brinkman out of distance and maybe a little bit unexplosive on the flesh, but it was fast, it was clean, it came out straight. Diveroli just took a really, really good four. Which again kind of plays into the. Oh, that was good. Really well executed toe touch. As Brinkman goes to the wrist and then just drops his whole body down to get the line hit and avoid the counter from Diveroli. Tries it again. Diveroli's wise to his tricks now, though. Diveroli doing that Italian teapot thing. I don't know why they all do it, but it works for them. Oof. Brinkman just forcing a lot of awkward situations. Which may be how we got this far. But I'm not sure that forcing awkward situations against an Italian is the way to go. It is 5-4 though, which is a pretty good start. Although not ideal, obviously, but not bad. Diveroli looking for a counter.
Activity call with 12 seconds remaining on the clock in this opening period. I've actually seen it be called
Strange to get the 5-4 in the first period and still have passivity. But I guess it happened. But that, like a passivity call like that's pretty irrelevant because at 5-4 in the first, you're not going to get to the black card.
in the opening period. 5 for Davide Diveroli, 4 for Marco Brinkman, and
All right.
that's the first part of the question.
All right. 5-4 Vivaroli over Brinkman. I think Brinkman just needs to be like a little bit smoother. I don't really like his awkward situations that he keeps getting himself into. Diveroli is getting a little bit impatient, I think.
Really picking up that.
I think he's jumping on things like that and it worked that time, but he's jumping on things that's not really committed to either. And I think that's what Brinkman's looking for. Like that. And Steve Veroli kind of leaning over, trying to get the counter, and Brinkman stops his body and then finishes with the arm only. And just kind of outreaches Steve Veroli. Brinkman's got a little bit of that lean forward in his on guard too. So you really, really have to go into 6 against him. Because it's just where he's holding his hand. But good patience by Diveroli there. As Brinkman goes 1 and then tries a remise, and Diveroli gets that counter to the arm off the remise. Pretty straightforward touch for him. And Brinkman looking a little bit desperate. Good straight attack from Brinkman. Let's watch that again, because I missed it. Takes the blade on 1, extends longer than possibly Diveroli thought he could on two to get a really nice touch and bring himself back within one.
that these are two very talented and evenly matched fencers.
Interesting to look at Diveroli's footwork here. Oh, good touch from him. Just playing with the distance in and out and in and out, and goes out a little bit less than Brinkman thinks. Brinkman goes in like he's going to be have more distance to play with, doesn't do anything there because he thinks he's farther out, and Diveroli gets the easy counter.
Hit to the foot. Diveroli asked for a video review, said it was on.
Diveroli thinks he hit outside, which is not impossible, but certainly unusual. And the ref is taking a while to look at it. You get the same view the ref does. This is the replay camera that we're watching right now. And it's very hard to tell things like, did it hit the floor, did it not? She's saying it wasn't pointed at Diveroli when it went off, I think.
Well, they're in the second break on the blue piece. Federico Bismara with a 12-6 lead.
Okay, so I don't know if you can hear him, but Navy King said the blue piece has the other semi. So we'll go there after this. Anyway, for fun bit of technique trivia, look at Diveroli's back foot as it rotates between 45 degrees when he just needs to take steps and 90 degrees when he needs to lunge. Lunge, he's ready. Back and it rotates and it's totally off it. Just tapping backwards. And rotates around and lunges forward for a pretty decent explosive quick little lunge.
Diveroli with clean block out.
Now Diveroli back to that sort of static and jerky Italian style. Brinkman is also kind of static and jerky.
Look a lot like bronze for Ankwitz. I don't think he'll complain. Brinkman goes for the foot again.
He's trying to go foot high low, but he's lacking some forward explosiveness with that. So it's not successful this time. Getting some fast and furious blade work. Shout out to David King.
And it's over. Federico Bismara into the gold medal match. Mateus Ankwitz takes home a bronze medal, and we'll see him on the podium later.
Out of distance flush from Brinkman. Kind of desperation a little bit. Maybe he thinks he only has 13 seconds left when he's got 3 minutes 13 seconds. Maybe he thinks,
A clean riposte.
wow. Good touch by Brinkman. He must be so annoying to fence.
Instead of both of them trading hits, as we go to our second 1 minute break, trading hits over a one. I'm not sure that it is,
And we've lost quality now.
because we've been doing since 2011.
They're really coming very close there to getting a touch on Brinkman, and getting a little bit too eager for that counterattack, and finds Brinkman. Brinkman finds a golden opportunity to just go straight with Diveroli's arm extended. And Diveroli's can't take a parry, can't go backwards. Just a very surprising, well-timed attack from Brinkman.
We've had at least three.
Diveroli going full forward on the lunge there. This is not something we've seen from him a lot. Diveroli in a much more forward leaning on guard here, looking for to close this thing out and push himself. He's no longer content to let Brinkman come at him. He wants to go get his own touches. And the double's really as good as a single here for him. And Brinkman looking for anything and doesn't get it. And Diveroli surprises, throws his mask. So this is the end of the semi. And Diveroli is moving perfectly fine. And by the beginning of the finals, he's hurt. No idea what's going on there. Very strange. Alright, off to the blue piece for the other semis. Somebody else can stream the woman's foil. It's not going to be enough. Alvaredo looking hurt there. Hope she's okay. A lot of injuries, it seems like, on the Italian team. I don't know if the air conditioning in the stadium is broken or if so it wasn't, in fact. Maybe it was before this. Nope. There you go. And Kevitz Vismara. All right, here we go. Very solid on guard from Minkiewicz. Wide, stable stance. Kind of a forward with kind of an half extended on guard. A bit longer than you just see. Another Italian again. Federica Vismara. Looks pretty similar to Diveroli. They must train together. All the Italians probably do. Yeah, if you cause the Korokor, you don't get to finish your action. So if Vismara jumping in like that means he doesn't get the riposte or the final action. And Kevit's doing a really good job of keeping his feet under him as Vismara pushes. A little bit out of distance there for Rinkevich, gets a double out of it. I think the Italians must love doubles. There's so many where it feels like their opponent's making a mistake and they're just okay to walk away with a double. That's just the line they're walking as the fence is. Any little mistake, can't quite get it, you still pull out a double. I don't know, I'm just spitballing here. I didn't even see that one. That was phenomenal. You're not supposed to be able to get a hand shot like that and then also a parry in the same action, the same sequence. That was really good. Double there. Vismar is really applying a lot of pressure with the blade. not on the blade, with the blade, where his arm is very far extended, forcing Ankevich to react from far away. And Ankevich needs to be doing something with that in order to break open Vismar's defense, because otherwise he's just going to double out. Because he's forced to start his attacks from too far away. Not, of course, that that's easy to do. It's easy to say. And Kevit's fencing in Mizuno's, just like me. I don't know what those look like. The balustras on Vismara. Yeah, Vismara on the with his arm extended already, and Kevitz can't take it. Tries anyway, and Vismara just finishes his extension first because his arm's farther out. Vismara wanted one more attack, just in case maybe at the end of the period, and Kevitz not even close to getting hit, and then back off first break. Let's see. Vismara kind of in control here, and Kevitz really needs to find the blade a couple of times with takes and binds, and force Vismara defense with his arm farther back if he wants to have anything to say in the rest of this bout. Which is, the obvious solution and kind of what Vismara is looking for, but it still needs to happen. Otherwise, it'll just be doubles, 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 and it'll end 15-12. There we go. There's a good one. 2 takes that time. That was a 6, and then another very fast 6. Vismara dodged the first and countered into the second. And a really good touch from Ankevitz. I think he's working more with his own arm out to counter Vismara's as well, which is a solution I didn't think of. So good for him. And he's feinting low as well to force Vismara to move his blade out of the 6 he's in right here. Kind of more of a 3, honestly, which is when your hand is pronated. Very Italian. That time, Mankiewicz fails to find the blade, kind of slams his own blade onto Vismara's belt to parry himself. And easy touch for Vismara. Oh, that was a high level touch. Vismara, big jump forward, ready for the flesh, holds the flesh, and Kevitz misses his counter because Vismara has managed to somehow stop his whole momentum. And then Vismara finishes. Really, really good touch. Complicated, high level, a lot of body control. Oh. Kevitz trying to find the blade. Can't quite get it, overcommits. And another touch for Vismara. I have changed how I say his name, and I don't know why. much closer from Mankiewicz that time. But Vismara manages to leap back and get his blade on target just enough to pull out a double, which is impressive. Straight action from Vismara, step back, and Kevich steps forward trying to hit Vismara. Half step back really from Vismara, and then forward lunge into Kevich's attempted attack. This is kind of rinse and repeat here at this point. Tried the same thing that time, and Kevich goes 6 first before he lunges, catches the blade Vismara. Smara sees it, and Kevich trying to take the blade. There's this weird sort of angulation thing to go around the parry. Very classic Italian. Well, more of a modern, not really Italian. I was thinking of Canon, but Canon's not Italian. So more of a modern technique to angle around pairs like that. More common with a French grip, but you can do it with any blade, any grip. And end of the second. And Kevitz has not consistently found a solution to Vismara's forward on guard. So we're probably not going to see much more from him. Still, bronze at the Euro Championships is nothing to sneeze at. Another double. It's the same. Like Vismar, the rear foot leaves the ground entirely, and I don't know why. All of the Italians do it. And Kevit's trying to go feint low, go high. But as soon as he goes low, Vismar's already in the flush forward, and his forward is just too late. His high is just too late. And 15-7. Alright, let's go watch Pan Am's. Hopefully, green piece, yellow piece, blue piece, red piece, green piece. No championship piece. I guess no championship piece. Well, we will find it when we find it. Let's try yellow first. That looks like Nick. Yeah, that's Nick. $720, the best we get. Lovely. It might be the finals, honestly. I have no idea. We'll watch this, then we'll move over to the women's today. Women Euros. Holding very wide distance here. I think that's Ruben Lamardo on the left and Nick Zhang on the right from Canada. Young Winderkind. Very far distance, really. Especially compared to the Italians we just watched. Much more upright, much more fluid. Kind of tall, kind of skinny, both sides. One lefty, one righty. Kind of looks like a mirror bout. One minute passivity. Kind of bouncing around, looking for obvious openings. Not much happening. Nick getting decent reactions when he jumps forwards. That's 6 save from Lamardo. But he's so far back he can't really do anything with it. Maybe he's trying to draw a counter flush. Oh wow. Doesn't look like he was quite ready for that one. Looking at the tableau. Nick fenced 2 Venezuelans in a row. So this is either Ruben Lamardo or Gabriel Lugo. I suspect, because we saw the end of the bout earlier, that this is Ruben Lamardo and this is the finals. But that's fine. It'd be a good bout. See Nick Zhang in the Olympics soon. What the fuck is happening here? Injury timeout. I'm not sure on which side. They both look fine now. Like going to a more solid stance, no more bouncing, just quick steps in, quick half steps in, looking to draw a reaction from Lamardo Gascon. Gascon, being patient and waiting for again, almost getting what he wants as Zhang finds a good infighting touch. Zhang going low, not really very well executed, so no surprise it missed, but at least it was a pretty safe action, and that was giving Lamardo Gascon something else to think about. Still a very wide distance. These are two very explosive fencers, so I'm not extremely surprised. But even then, you'd expect them to be kind of doing more brinksmanship. As we get a double, nothing done, 2-2. See, it's 2-2, and end of the first. No non-combativity. But it was 5 for the other bout. We still managed to get a non-combativity call, or passivity call. Still very much figuring each other out. Neither one has really shown a lot or committed to anything or taken very many risks at all. So not much to adjust here still. Trying to find their way around, figure out their opponents. Just far back, Zhang's in 8 with his blade by his knee. Gascon's got his blade up, but it's still pretty far back. Not a lot of threats. Zen going low high, trying for something on the wrist. And then they both kind of collapse their distance really, really fast. And nothing done. They both whiff. Let's get back to the fencing. Zen going low, or Gascon going low. Finally starting to see some more aggressive actions out of it, and we spent the whole bout in Lamar Gascon's half of the piece as Zhang is pushing him one way or another. And Lamar Gascon tend to absorb the pressure and look for situations like that. Pardon me while I mess around with my overlay, which I just noticed was way off balance. There we go. Good enough. I have a friend who has promised me a new overlay. And it will happen as soon as he starts being less busy. When will that be? Lord knows. Anyway, 5-3. Under a minute left in the second. Low scoring bout, but we knew that was going to happen as soon as we saw him fencing this far out. Nick thinks he's got something going on there with those long attacks, but he's giving Lamar Gascon so much space. Gascon's able to deal with it, no matter how fast Nick is. The Limardos are the first family of Venezuelan fencing. I don't know how they're all related. I'm pretty sure at least two of them are brothers. But they had three of them in this tournament, and they all made the cut, which is impressive no matter how you slice it. Nick Switchblade. And end of the second. Nick's got to figure out a way to close the distance, really, is all that comes down to. Ooh, that was a really good one. Pins Lamardo, gets gone to the back of the ship, gets him leaning backwards, and then goes low while he's parrying high. Really good touch from Nick. See if we can pull 3 or 4 more out. He's he's maybe a little bit closer now. And certainly if he's got a speedy jump in like that, makes sense for him. Same touch again. Pins him on the back, feints high, drops body low, easy touch to the leg. See if you can pull 1 more out like that. Oh, that's unfortunate. That was a really good parry by Zhang, and he just missed his riposte, and then his remise, and then his remise, and then his remise, and then the ref called halt, and then he missed another remise, and then he hit. But that would have been a really good touch for him to get. He doesn't get Lamato to commit forward a lot. So anytime he can and also get the punish is really important for him. As Lamardo attacks into Zhang's big step and gets the touch himself. If you were with us yesterday, we watched Curtis McDowell. We watched Nick Zhang take out Curtis McDowell. Another Nick Zhang took 4 as Lamardo came in, but Lamardo took Preem in response and blacked out the riposte. A little bit too obvious on the 4, maybe. Just knows that it's coming. Maybe too big on the 4. Nick's so focused on what he's going to do, he doesn't think about what Lamardo is going to do, and a really good surprise flash from the left. Yeah, there it is again. Leonardo Gascon giving space so easily. Nick pins him on the back line and goes high low, and this time I think he went high low high to get the touch, but the idea is the same. Another one Nick wishes he had back. Really. I think the call is correct. Another good one from Nick. A lot of short range actions this time, not giving Leonardo Gascon a chance to interrupt them. And then pins him on the back line again. Flicks on the hand. We saw his point control yesterday against Curtis McDowell. We know it's phenomenal. Double there, nothing done. 30 seconds left in the final period. It doesn't matter. 30 seconds left and 10-8. It doesn't matter. At least I should say. Oh, Nick a little bit too aggressive there. Can't quite keep his feet. And Leonardo Gascon finds the opportunity there to go in. Yep. I think Nick's just feeling the pressure now. He's a little bit overexcited. 16 seconds, 20 seconds isn't a lot, but when you have uh you know, you have enough time not to run at your opponent like he was doing for his off the strip. Or at least Lamargo Son thinks so, or at least he figures there's a chance, and if he doesn't use it now, he's probably never gonna have a chance to use the replay. So why not? Touch. But with 9 seconds left and 3 touches, this is a little bit hard. Oh, but there's one. Good take by Zhang. Showing why you can't just double out at the end. Oh, the four-flick fails him in his time of need. Oof. He's so good at that action. Oh, he gets that one too. Oof. Good, well fought bout by both sides. Just a couple of unfortunate this is by Nick is really the only difference there. But great all around. Congratulations to Ruben Lamar Gascon on Pan American Championship victory. All right, Pan Am's or Euro Women, and then we'll see where we go from there. But we just learned that that's the just the finals, I think.
Medal ceremony.
I don't know why I thought I needed to seek into this. But yeah, this is the final, so we'll pause that. Anna Marie Kandasamy? Who's in the finals? That's Marna Navaria versus Erica Kirpu. Really different, obviously, is what I meant. Part of me will figure out what's going on here. Okay, so this is the semis. Perfect.
Now we have Difford to your right, Navaria to your left, and both very experienced and successful fencers with significant careers. Winners here in
Italians, of course, masters and mistresses of the sport of fencing in all disciplines and all weapons, although their saber's been a little bit weak recently, as I say that. Um, Estonians, a long time ago, decided that they were going to focus specifically and only on epee. And they have no relevant sabers, no relevant foilists, but who boy do they have a lot of relevant epeists. Nelly Difford here, Erica Kierpu, who may or may not have made the finals, but certainly made the cut. A little bit weak on the male side. Sen Preen's still kicking. He's a quality dude, but I don't know if there are any other men. Kind of a changing of the guard a little bit. Let's see who the next crop coming up are. A little bit quieter in women's epee. A little less flashy stuff. A little less weirdness from the Italians. That's always nice. Good flesh from Difford. Hard to see there, but that was actually flesh, parry, and then finish the flesh. A very little parry there to take out the counter from Navaria. Really good, really precise action that I think a lot of people would miss. Poke forward from Difford, pull back. Poke forward from Difford, pull back. No more pull back now. Navaria opens up the distance a little bit. Difford goes low looking for the foot. Maybe she'll build with that to go high again into a flush. Oh, great disengage by Navaria to get around Difford's attempt to take in the middle of that flush. Going wide distance and slowly closing it up. Oh, Difford got. Hello, T-Powered Robot. I'm glad you could join us. The fencing has been great. Except for Davide Di Veroli, who got hurt. And we hope he's okay. Now we're trying to parse out the intricacies of women's epee, which are a lot less obvious than the intricacies of men's epee. I hope you had a good nap. Good high-low from Difford doesn't quite land. Double there. Difford getting caught a little bit flat-footed. Not flat-footed, but locked in her stance as she jumps into those. Not quite able to get the full continuation she wants, and so Navaria pulls out a double.
Poland, and we go to the 1 minute break, and then in the quarterfinals, had a very
Let's see. I don't really know enough about what they're looking for, what they're trying to do to analyze what they need. Also, it's 3-3 and they're tied, and pretty basic stuff. Nelly Difford was actually the 32 seed coming into this. She beat her countrywoman Irina Emrich in the 16, which is impressive because Emrich was a number 1 seed overall. Albe Vendingen from Belarus in the, I think, yeah, Belarus in the 8. Marie Florence Kandasamy, unfortunately, because she's on the fantasy team in the 4s. And then now we are in the semis against Mara Navaria. Mara Navaria, by contrast, if I can find her. There we go. 5th seed overall. 15-3 over Jana Grzak. 14-8 over Kamila Pitka of Poland. And then 15-13, a first close bout against Angela Krieger of Sweden. Which is impressive because Angela Krieger came in as the 36th seed. So, a lot of upsets here in the... I mean, not an upset for Mara Navaria to be here, but a lot of upsets otherwise. And I missed absolutely nothing in the fencing because it's still a 3-3 and non-combativity. And I'll get back to it, and now they can start doing things. No nap yet. That's awful. I'm glad you decided to tune in instead of napping. Double there from both fencers. Differ looks a little bit too far forward. Like she doesn't have all the push from her back leg she really wants. But maybe she'll fix that now. Navaria is sort of fencing like a rock. Very solid, very steady. Not moving a whole lot. But not really letting anything get past her at all. Content to poke and prod at Differt and wait for something to come up. Another Italian going for a double, so this really must be something they're looking for. Another double and deferred, not quite. A little bit too wild with the blade, I think, trying to take it. It's a 2-tempo action she's doing there, and it's not the right timing for her. Oh, not quite the right response from Navaria, who sees it coming and gets out of the way far enough to pull out a double. There's another one. Difford's kind of falling forward onto her front foot, and her back foot's leaving the ground when she goes for those counters. And I think that must not be what she's looking for. Or she must not want to do that. Estonians are generally more classically clean than that. And then another double. Which is not... doesn't really matter at this point, honestly. But there does seem to be a bit of a disconnect between Difford's preps and Difford's committed attacks. And if she could clean that up, I think this would be a better bout for her.
Coaches, I'm sure, are going to have a lot to say about, when's the point. Two of the most experienced.
You had grass to dig up after your run. If your husband leaves you behind for lunch, you should make him bring you back a doggy bag. You get the best of both worlds. You can have lunch in bed. Yeah. Out of distance flesh, not really set up at all, but Differt. Mara Navaria picks it up easy and feeds it back to her for her 8th point. Take a 1-touch lead, and about like this, 1 touch is huge. Oh, but that was a really good response from Differt. Knows Navaria is going backwards and just really extends deep on the lunge. Barely avoiding a counter, but she did, so good for her. Back to 8-8. I wonder why they're actually not fencing on the podium strip. Double there, Differ not really getting close enough to do the thing she wants. And Navarra happy to double out until she gets a single. Oh, the post lunch beers, of course. Good active fencing from Differt. A lot of her basic prep is always that step forward with the arm extended, and she's that was a really good the low touch, even though it didn't work, was a really good example of her building off of it to go high low. And then a good flush too. Oh, but never is so manages to pull out the double.
And at this rate, they're just going to double their way to a priority minute.
Poke from Differt. Navaria hunting the hand a little bit. Nothing really committed though. Quick in, quick out. Just enough to keep Differt thinking.
Oh, she fights her way through.
Oh, and Differt wanted that one. She stopped the first one. Couldn't just had her hand in an awkward place. Couldn't quite get the repost.
World of
Navaria remises and gets a touch, which is well done by her.
oh,
And then another one from Navaria. Different feeling the pressure now. She's not setting it up like she used to. That was about a 3 second touch. Should never be a 3 second touch when you have a minute left.
it's time for different.
There it is again. The poke back, high low with just the tip moving. Going again for the foot, but a little bit not forward enough. A little bit too up and down for that. No, she's too far on her front foot. I don't think she's getting this one.
Nothing. Navaria picked up the blade.
Nothing done. Navaria, sees the flush coming, parries, but a little bit of a big parry. Can't quite get the point back on for the riposte. This is the first time we've spent significant time in Navaria's
Well,
side of the piece, and she gets another one.
Navaria with the parry, the riposte.
It's kind of just
31
desperation
seconds remaining in
going for
this
it.
third and final period.
On screen chat,
And Differt is in
no, I don't.
a very difficult circumstance.
It just keeps happening.
Now, Differt is
13-10. Nope, that's not what I want.
pressing. And it's Mara Navaria into the goal.
And Mara Navaria takes the goal,
10.
takes the bout.
Very tense match. But Nellie Differt will take home the bronze medal. And Mara Navaria will face the winner. The European Individual Championships with a bronze medal.
Oh, that's too far. That's too far. Nope, that was too far the other way. I will figure this out soon.
Two of the most experienced.
And it's gone again. I see it. I don't know.
Trailing only.
Oh, we jumped. They're running the semis simultaneously. That looked blue. Let me know if it comes back again. It may just, if I don't look at OBS long enough, it loses connection to it. Oh, that's a humdinger of a saber bat there. Here we go. This is it. Okay, yeah, it seems to be if I don't look at my OBS video long enough, it vanishes. Thanks for helping me debug that. Anyway, back to the fencing. All right, Alexandre Marie on the right, Ariane Malo Breton on the left, who I think must have gotten married because this is the first time I've seen her as Malo Breton and not Ariane Malo. So congrats to her. Wishing many happy years together. And here we go. French team kill, but at least it's not Italians this time. So that's nice. Very wide stance from Malo Breton. I think I'm just going to call him Malo because that's a mouthful. Mouthful. Louis Marie standing a little bit taller. Trying to get every inch of that of her height that she can. Flush from Malo, counter from Louis Marie. 1-1. And straightening your blade. Malo's prep right now seems to be a small 6 take as she comes in. But Louis Marie disengages it there and catches her on the wrist as she tries to flush. 6 flush. Louis Marie breaking distance is very hard. And I really don't know why. If you look at bouts from like 40 years ago, they would start this far away, and we've been progressively getting closer as a sport ever since. And I don't know why she's gone back to this distance. And Malo seems to be respecting it too, which is certainly interesting. There we go. Now she's starting to push into it a little bit more. Not really doing anything, honestly. So this is a case of certainly a deserved non-combativity passivity card. We wait for Malo to fix her blade. There we go. Now we're much closer. We are a lot closer. Holy cow. Honestly, Louis Marie kind of looks like Burrell here, the way she's holding her blade and the way she's standing. I wonder if they're both at instep or something. There you go. Now you can see her name. And end of the first. I don't got a lot to say. Malo slowly pushing and closing the distance, hoping to draw some kind of probably a semi-committed reaction. Because I think if Louis Marie really did a full committed lunge or flesh, she would get the touch. Louis Marie can tend to wait it out, and Malo flushes in double touch. Malo stepping in, Malo stepping out. Louis Marie is backing up, just kind of leaving her blade there for Malo to run onto. Getting very close there. Please move the camera. Yeah. Malo thinks she hit the ground, and that's a pretty likely scenario. Certainly much more than the one in the Lamar Gascon Zhang bout. And it is 2-3 now. And 2-4. So the ref says touch. Oh, Malo goes low high, and Lumiri comes about a centimeter from running onto it. Malo has now found a comfortable distance for her that's much closer than it was before. And Louis Marie is not quite willing to give up the ground for it. So a double there, but for that touch, it certainly looked like Malo was in control. Oh, just a lack of commitment from Malo. Got the action she wanted from Louis Marie, and she wasn't going forward, and Louis Marie went into Preem, which is normally a great opportunity if you're not overcommitted, as Malo is not, but just not prepared to take advantage of it. And now she's taking a step back to relax and reconsider, no longer pushing, letting Louis Marie come forward at her distance. Oh, don't want to do that. And 15 seconds left. We're probably going to. We're probably going to non-combativity, but we're probably going to the time. Yep. Third period, and Malo's decided to stop messing around and go back to her pushing. Um, Double there, but it's not great because Malo set up a pattern, and it was, a pattern, and Louis Marie was falling into it. And then she never broke the pattern to get a reaction. She just finished her attack after a while. And Louis Marie will be very happy to get a double in a situation like that. And good touch there from Malo to hold the sixth through the lunge. Now we're down to 8-6, which is the most classic fencing score because 8-6 is low high. Attempted attack and prep by Louis Marie. Malo gets it up 7-9. Not much done, but Better than letting Malo set up a touch. Now she's got to start over building it again. There's the 6 and back off. And Malo just bounces off Louis Marie. Hope she's okay. Looked like maybe an awkward landing. Oh, we're back on guard, so. Louis Marie a little bit less willing to give ground now. Good pickup by her. Malo goes in and sees Louis Marie isn't willing to give the ground, tries a flash fast preem in response from Louis Marie to get the touch. Same kind of deal as before. She's almost building a pattern, and then she goes short, 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 long, and Louis Marie picks it up for a double. If she'd gone short, short, pause, long, or short, short, long, or something like that, might have had more success. But at that, she was priming Louis Marie to get to be on time for the touch. Hey, cat locator, woke up on time and made it. Congratulations. You feel human again. That is very offensive, but you said no offense, so I guess I'll trust you. Welcome to the stream. We are watching the women's semis from Euros today. Ariane Malo on the left, Alexander Louis Marie on the right. Better that time. Mal was trying to set up the pattern of pulling Louis Marie forward, and then she was trying to flush into it. Still didn't get the touch, but at least it was built better. And the clip from Milan where Mushu goes, "I live." I don't remember how that goes because it's been too long since I've seen Mulan. Bigger steps that time from Malo, also looking for the blade. Good break in the pattern. And 15-13. Good bout, but Louis Marie in control the whole time, really. Good work to set up from Malo, but not quite enough to finish it. Hug it out. Your teammates, the country women. All right. Now we can go to the podium piece. Watch the finals. Nope, that's too far. Why do I keep doing this? Bizadze classic. So good. We were here at the beginning of the stream and it froze at about 12:12. So hopefully whatever it was is loaded up by now. Let's get back to the beginning of it. There we go. That should do it. Nope, not quite. That should do it. Yeah, here we go. Women's gold at European Championships, which is just a fucking slaughterhouse of a tournament. There's so many good fencers in Europe. Mara Navaria on the left of Italy, Nelly Differt of Estonia on the right. Spoke to Stan Prince once. He said that the Estonian women had all taken time off last season for just various personal reasons, injuries and such like. And now they're back in full force just in time to qualify for Paris, which is going to be a great Olympics. Navaria, not quite ready for that one. Goes into Preem, but Differ keeps the long distance. The Preem lifts and Differ gets an easy finish.
with the remise gets the score.
He should. Go full screen. There we go. That's much better. Pretty close distance here. A lot of small preps from both sides. It's little pokes with the blade. Looking for a reaction, for the right reaction. Different pokes and pulls back. Navarra tends to hang in place after she does it. We saw Difford do a lot of high-low, or a fair amount of high-low in the first bout.
Attack. Different has looked
Really good flush from her into Navaria's pullback that she wasn't quite ready for as she sort of winds her way around the blade.
She started starting at the 32. She defeated her teammate Irina Embrick, who was the #1 seed.
There's the low shot from Difford, but she's still leaning forward to it, so it's a bit hard for her to hit the full range.
The very impressive
Oh, wow. I think Difford straight missed there. And then trying to go around, and Navarra gets the high flick. Might have even been a back flick. You don't see a lot in the women's game to get her first touch. Oh, picks her off on the wrist as Difford stands up a little bit too much.
Marie-Florence Candassamy of France. Navaria in the 32 faced Yana Kriak.
Reset the distance here by Navarra. She doesn't want to pin Difford on her back line this time because she knows there's a certain kind of fencer who's very dangerous on their back line. So Navarra is slowly pushing Difford back and back and back, but she doesn't get what she wants and she runs out of space. So she pulls back and resets. And then we get a double here with 8 seconds left. And we'll probably just go to time here.
Of Poland. And we go to the 1 minute break.
Much more of a, even though they're not moving around a lot, it's much more of an interesting bout because of how close they're getting to each other and how tight the margin for error is.
Right here. Difford put a hand up to
If you touch any of the electrical equipment while you are fencing, it is a card. So first ask for a halt, then fix your bell guard or your wire or whatever. This is extra important in saber and foil because the mask counts as electrical equipment. Navaria looking for not Navaria. Different looking for an 8 there. She's extending and then stretching low with her blade, hoping to catch a low flush from Navaria. She does a lot of those, so it's not a bad idea. And non-combativity, passivity.
being shown to both athletes.
I don't know what I'm doing. I'm very even more patient here, not even almost not even doing any preps at all. A quick shot there to the wrist, but that's not a setup for anything. That's just a opportunistic touch attempt. Kind of just waiting for Differ to do something and see if she can find the timing in her actions. Double there, 4-4. Um, it's kind of an advantage to Differ because Differ can set the things up she wants, but it doesn't mean Navarre is very confident. If Navarre at this level is very confident, she probably has a reason for it. As far as I know, that is just another person watching. Normally, I would expect the corner judges to be standing on the same side as the main ref, so we can talk to them if necessary without them having to cross the strip. And another double. Different kind of losing patience and not seeing any reaction from Navarre and thinking she can go. Different misreading the situation there a little bit, seeing she has the advantage, thinking Navarre has left her blade for her, thinking she has to take the blade, doesn't get it, and that gives Navarre time to get back unsettled enough to pull out a double. It was the right timing for Different, but the wrong action. And now she's annoyed, I think. She's getting a little higher energy now. And we're seeing a little bit more active fencing from Navarre as well as we come in 30 seconds left in the second period. Different standing up there a little bit, which is unfortunate. But Navarre pushing back a little bit more. More bleed work, more active steps. Not really just trying to hit her, but trying to set something up and apply pressure. And then another double from Difford. That 2-0 lead is a distant memory now. You've had a corner rough stand there because the angle was better. I could see that. I don't think by default they have corner roughs, and I didn't see anybody ask for it. And she's leaving now anyway.
Final period in the semifinal match. Nelly Differt, Mara Navaria.
No, well, she's gone now. So not a corner rough. Somebody else is there though. So you might be right actually that that's a side judge. I guess so. Oh, and the single from Navaria is different. Tries to find the timing. It doesn't. Just hopes kind of. That was very quick. Maybe he's looking to see if they hit the floor on that side. Good action from Differt to beat and then a full deep lunge. Those lunges are so pretty. The swap sides at period breaks the hope of bias. I would hope that all of the refs were neutral, or at least theoretically neutral. You know, not from that country or anything. Very double heavy bout, which is what you get when you're both the kind of fencer these two are, and not really looking for and not really making any mistakes. Never remember the rules. I don't think there are rules. You just put them there, and then they confer with the head ref and tell them what they saw. Double there. Differed a little bit late with her arm there. I don't know if she was trying for the same action or just misjudged the distance or what. But kind of feels like she's doing all the work here, and Mara Navaria is getting Just taking advantage of little errors.
their way to a priority minute.
Here we are back again with Difford in our own warning line. Navaria a little bit more actively aggressive, looking for touches, back to where she was before. Oh, unfortunate. If you'd hope so too, but if you swap anyways, you might hope with the illusion of potential bias. I don't think that's something the FIE cares about, considering. Oh, and another one from Navaria as Difford loses focus a little bit. That 11th touch probably should have been Difford. She won the action and didn't quite finish the touch. And now we're all Navaria. Going for the foot again. Navaria just barely gets out of the way. Sensing a little bit of desperation from Difford. She's pushing Navaria back now. Instead of Navaria pulling her or pulling Navaria. Yeah, there is also that the FIA has a much larger pool of refs to pick with. Difford misses, tries a remise. Navaria picks up the remise, gets the counterattack, and 13-10 with 30 seconds left. This is kind of in the bag. Let's see what Difford can pull out. This is going to be very hard. If it's anything other than a single light for Difford in the next 10 seconds, probably Navaria's. She's pushing too hard. But she's kind of out of time, so she's been pushing too hard for a while, though. And there we go. Mara Navaria, gold medal for Women's Epee Europe Championships, and a good start for European qualification. And the same for Nelly Difford, honestly. The Italian women's team was almost definitely going to qualify as a team. The Estonian squad likely, but a lot less likely. So this is important for Difford to get an individual spot. Thank you all for joining me. Hope you have a good Sunday. Have a nice nap and a nice post-lunch beer and whatever else you're doing.